Ladies and gents, welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Tonight, Sir Tristram will be returning to battle once again, and so will we. Because we've already tried this once, after all. We tried this last week and the internet died on us midway through. Tristram was just beginning his charge, lance in hand, and the internet cut out. So tonight, we shall return. We join him in his charge. And hopefully, fingers crossed everyone, we'll be able to get to the end of tonight's tale. So hello and welcome. Hello Roger, hello Dawn. Come in. How are you all this fine Monday? We've had a bit of a scare with the internet over the weekend. Saturday it died as well, but as of Sunday, we are now about 48 hours without incident with the internet, which is pretty good. God knows. Well, sorry, I say God knows what happened last week. I know what happened last week. A concrete drill went through the cable, and then thereafter, it did dawn. Apparently it was unrelated to the problems we had the day before. So on Wednesday, the concrete drill went through the cable, and then on Friday, no, I thought I got banned. No one was banned. It was on Friday. On Friday, the BT internet thing just went down for everyone. They were having problems across the country. So last week was not good for getting into the routine. So I apologise. Last week was a bit cruddy. Even more so, the fact that I could only actually tweet you guys to let you know what was happening when I was at the gym. So I tried to get some tweets out then. But importantly, it's all fixed now. It's all fixed. We are back. We are on track. We are on form. And tonight we shall get back into epic tales of daring do, of smiting, of jousting, of knights on horseback plunging into the fray. Because that's what we like. Hello, Herbert. Hello, how are you? Welcome. Hello, Felicia as well. Come in, everyone. As you can see, I'm in a very good mood to be back. I don't like not being able to do the show. Not being able to do the show makes me very edgy. I'm now much more relaxed. On Sunday, well, it's not Saturday. Saturday was when it was still not working. I was very worried on Saturday. On Sunday, slightly nervous as to whether the internet would hold, but it's holding now. We'll give it another couple of minutes, and then I will give you the show to knock your socks off that I've been promising you for so long. In fact, this week, I've looked ahead. In the chapters, I've been preparing my Instagram posts, etc. Because I know some of you have suggested that perhaps I should give you a bit more prior warning on social media before I come on and do shows. So I've been prepping all the content to go out this week. The content is prepped now. I've got all the titles, the headlines sorted. Over the course of the week, you'll definitely know what's about to happen. And this week there are some killer stories. Literally killer in some instances. This week will be smiting central on the show. Smiting left, smiting right. I've got a bit of buffeting to go along with it. Palamides stalking Tristram for revenge. Oh, it will be great. Ending, of course, with true love. So there we go. True love. And the end of the week, but in between now and then, tales of daring do men in most serious peril. Oh, Dawn, I put them all. We are in book 10 of Morte D'Arthur, chapter 70. But for any of the episodes that you've missed, Dawn, this weekend I put them all up on the website. So this week, as of this weekend, every single episode of season 10 is on the website. All 69 episodes are up there. So you can go back. Hello, Karen. Come in. Welcome. I was just saying to Dawn, over the weekend I've put all the episodes of Morte D'Arthur that have currently been filmed up on the website. think all of them. Yes, all of them. The ones that are on catch are on the site. Some of the earlier ones, which we didn't have catch for, I haven't uploaded yet. But all the catch ones are there on the website for you to go and enjoy. So please, if you're missing episodes, go to SimonTellsTales.com, look them up. They're all waiting. Anyway, I look forward to the tons of internet hits from Missouri. And a bit for myself, Herbert. It keeps me entertained, it keeps me out of trouble, but I'm glad that you appreciate it. Anyway, shall we get into tonight's show, ladies and gents? Have I finished talking enough before I can get you in? So, we'll go back to last week, ladies and gents, before the internet cut out. We are at the castle of Lonazep, where King Arthur has called a great tournament, possibly the greatest tournament that anyone has ever seen in all of England. Not only are King Arthur's knights going to fight, he's also ordered the kings, the low kings of all the other small kingdoms of England to come and be present at this tournament. And instead of it just being night upon the tournament field, this is more of a grand war game, ladies and gents. There is an immense field before the castle of Lonazep. And Arthur has asked the Low Kings to assemble their entire armies, so that instead of it being night upon night, army upon army will fight upon this field to see who had the greatest army of all. But, ladies and gents, you might well think that Arthur would prevail in a situation such as this. After all, his knights of the Round Table are sworn to him. But, ladies and gents, and here's the rub. Arthur's Knights of the Round Table might be Arthur's knights, but they are also the knights that belong to the Low Kings as well. And so, Arthur's Knights of the Round Table are now spread out across the field of battle, all fighting for different kings, all fighting against each other to see who will be the greatest knight on the day. And so, ladies and gents, we have seen that Sir Tristram and Sir Palamide have teamed up with the King of Northgalley to fight against the host of King Arthur. Tristram and Palamide have fared incredibly well so far, and I mean incredibly well. They are a force to be reckoned with, a force that no man could stand against, a force that was so strong that when Arthur saw Tristram doing great deeds of battle upon the battlefield, then did he ask Sir Lancelot, his most cherished knight, the greatest knight in all the realm, to go and fight against Sir Tristram. And so, ladies and gents, Sir Lancelot, spying Tristram upon the battlefield, rode towards him, spear outstretched, and then knocked Tristram straight from his horse. Tristram lost his horse in the battle there, and yes, as Dawn is saying, unhorsed, Tristram was offered the horse of the King of Northgalley in tribute for his great services. After all, he was the greatest knight that the King of Northgalley had. And so, Tristram took the King of Northgalley's horse and rode back into the fray, and there, riding into the fray, he came across King Arthur, and there knocked Arthur clean from his horse, and took Arthur's horse and gave it in gift to the King of Northgalley. And then Tristram did turn and leave the field of battle once more. Was he a coward? Is he leaving afraid of another fight against Sir Lancelot? No, ladies and gents, the reason for him leaving the field of battle was simple. Before, Tristram was dressed all in green, and that was how he was known upon the field. Now he has changed his clothes and his harness so that now he is all in red, so as to disguise himself upon the field of battle. And now, ladies and gents, now tonight we rejoin with Sir Tristram, clad all in red, disguised from those who know him. He returns to the field of battle. He returns to face off against all those who would joust, who would fight, who would dare to attempt to smite him. He goes in search of Sir Lancelot, who knocked him from his horse. Can he succeed in round 2, ladies and gents? Do we believe in Sir Tristram at this point in time? Twice has he fought Sir Lancelot now. The first time ended in a draw. The second time ended in defeat. Will the third time be the lucky one? Ladies and gents, I'm glad to see you believe in him. I believe in him, ladies and gents. Let's get into tonight's show. When the beautiful Queen Isolde saw that Sir Tristram was unhorsed, and she knew not where he was, then she wept greatly. But Sir Tristram, when he was ready, came dashing lightly into the field, and then the beautiful Isolde saw him. And so Tristram did great deeds of arms with one spear. He was so great that he smote down 5 knights before he had even broken a sweat. Then Sir Lancelot spied him upon the field, and he knew from his skill in arms that it was Sir Tristram. And then he regretted that he had struck him down. And so Sir Lancelot went out of the press to repose himself, and then lightly he returned again. Now, when Sir Tristram came into the press of battle, through his great force he put Sir Palomides back upon a horse, and Sir Gareth and Sir Dinadan, and then they began to do marvellously. But Sir Palomides and none of his 2 fellows knew who it was who helped them upon horseback, for they did not recognise Tristram in his new clothes, but ever Sir Tristram was nigh on them, and he helped them, and they knew him not because of his change. And all the while that this happened, Sir Lancelot was away. So, when the Queen Isolde knew that Sir Tristram was again upon horseback, she was passing glad. And then she laughed, and she made great cheer. And as it happened, Sir Palomides, who had always loved her, even though she loved Sir Tristram, Sir Palomides looked upon where she lay in her window, and he saw how she laughed, and therewith he took such rejoicing from her smile that he smote down with his spear and with his sword all that ever he met. For through the sight of her he was so enamoured in her love that it seemed at the time that both Sir Tristram and Sir Lancelot had been both against him, and they should have won no worship against him. And in his heart, as this book says, Sir Palomides wished with all worship that he might face off against Sir Tristram before all men and in front of the beautiful Isolde, and then he might destroy him. And so Palomides began to double his strength, and he did so marvellously that all men had wonder of him. And ever did he cast his eye upon the beautiful Isolde. And when he saw her, he made such cheer that he fared like a lion, and there might no man withstand him. Then Sir Tristram beheld him, and how Sir Palomides had bestirred him. And then he said unto Sir Dinadan, So God help me, Sir Palomides is a passing good knight, and well enduring, but such deeds as he is doing today I have never seen him done before, nor have I ever heard it tell that he's ever been able to do so much in one day. It is his day, said Dinadan, and he would say no more unto Sir Dinadan, but to himself he said, And if you knew for whose love he does all of these deeds, Soon would Sir Tristram abate his courage. Alas, said Sir Tristram, that Sir Palomides has not been christened. So said King Arthur as well, and so said all those who beheld him, for he was so great. And then all the people gave him the prize for being the best knight that day. And he passed Sir Lancelot and Sir Tristram. Well, said Dinadan to himself, all this worship that Sir Palomides has won here this day, he must thank the Queen Isolde for. For had she not been here, Sir Palomides would not have had the strength to win the prize this day. And right so came into the field Sir Lancelot the Lake, and he saw and heard the noise and cry and the great worship that Sir Palomides had. And he dressed himself against Sir Palomides with a mighty spear and a long one, and he thought to smite Palomides down. And when Palomides saw Sir Lancelot come upon him fast, he ran to Sir Lancelot as fast with his own sword as he might, and as Sir Lancelot would have stricken him, he smote his spear on one side and smote it a true with his sword. And then Sir Palomides rushed to Sir Lancelot and thought to have put him to great shame, and with his sword he smote his horse's neck, so that Sir Lancelot rode upon, and then Sir Lancelot fell to the earth. Then was the cry huge and great. See, the people said, how Sir Palomides the Saracen has smitten down Sir Lancelot's horse. Right then were there many knights angry with Sir Palomides because he had done that deed. Therefore many knights held themselves against that it was unknightly done in a tournament to kill a horse wilfully, but that it had been done in plain battle, life for life. Halfway through tonight's tale, ladies and gents, halfway through, and we have seen that just as Sir Tristram has returned to the field of battle, Sir Palomides has sought to outdo him, has sought to prove himself to be a great battle, even though it seems that Sir Palomides' tactics are not the most chivalrous, for Sir Palomides might have knocked Lancelot down, but the only reason that Palomides has knocked Sir Lancelot down has been because he has taken his own sword and then chopped clean through the head of Lancelot's steed, forcing that steed to then collapse to the ground. And as I did that, even though this is blunt, I stabbed myself in the back. That's not a smart thing to do. Ladies and gents, don't go holding a pointy thing behind you. Even if it's blunt, it will poke you, even if it doesn't stab you. And that, by the way, is also why we don't have any actual pointy, sharp things on this show. Because if Simon can stab himself with a letter opener, God knows what we could do otherwise. Anyway, hello Lars, come in. We're just about to start the second half. Sir Palomides has gone and slain the horse of Sir Lancelot to allow him to win the field of battle that day. I'm not bleeding, Dawn, so it's not that serious, but it's tough enough that I'm showing real feeling for the show tonight. I have missed you too, Lars. I was telling all these guys before we got started, not being able to Periscope last week properly because of the internet problems was really... I don't like it. I get very edgy if I'm not on the show. I like doing the show. I like hanging out with you guys. It's weird. It's weird not being able to do the show. Don't like it, but I do like the fact that we're now here once again. We're back. Thank you, Lars. I'm glad you like the hair. It's much easier to manage now. I don't have quite as much in my face. I can drive without wearing a hat. I missed all of you guys as well. Very much so, Herbert. But we're back now. I was disappointed. I was having a great time telling that story. I was doing it. It was about to be epic, and then it cut. So I'm glad we've got to get back tonight, and we're able to catch up on it. All of a sudden, my screen just started flashing black, and I realised what happened. But anyway, let's return, ladies and gents, to the castle of Lonazep now. Let's return to find out just what happened to Sir Palamide, who has won the day, but through a most unchivalrous tactic. When Sir Ector de Marie saw Sir Lancelot, his brother, have such difficulty against Palamide, then he set out on foot and grabbed a spear eagerly and ran against Sir Palamide and smote him so hard that he bore Palamide clean off his horse. That was seen by Sir Tristram, who was in a red harness, and so he came and smote down Sir Ector de Marie quite from his horse. Then Sir Lancelot dressed his shield upon his shoulder, and with his sword naked in his hand, and so he came straight upon Sir Palamide fiercely, and said, "Know you well that you have done me this day the greatest despite that ever any worshipful knight did to me in tournament or in jousts, and therefore I will be avenged upon you. Therefore keep of yourself. Have mercy, noble knight," said Palamide, "and forgive me my unkindly deeds, for I have no power nor might to withstand you. And I've done so much this day that well I know that I did never so much, nor never shall in my life days. And therefore, most noble knight, I require you, spare me, as at this day, and I promise you that I shall forever be your knight while I live. And you put me from my worship now. You put me from the greatest worship that ever I had or ever shall have in my life days, for I will never ever fight again so well as I have done so today." "Well," said Lancelot, "I see that you say the truth. You have done marvellously well this day, and I understand a part for whose love you do it. And well do I know that love is a great mistress. And if my lady was not here then, as she is not now, know you well," said Palamide, "that you would not bear away the worship. But beware that your love be not discovered," said Lancelot. "For if Sir Tristram knows that you love the beautiful Isolde, then you will regret it. And since my quarrel is not here, I will allow you to have victory on this day," said Lancelot. "Considering the great work and the pain that you have put into this, it would not be right for me to take your victory away from you." And therewith Sir Lancelot allowed Sir Palamide to depart. Then Sir Lancelot by great force and might got his own horse of 20 knights. So when Sir Lancelot was horsed, he did many marvels, and so did Sir Tristram and Sir Palamide in like ways. Then Sir Lancelot smote down with a spear Sir Dinadan and the King of Scotland, and he smote the King of Wales, and the King of Northumberland, and the King of Listinois. So then Sir Lancelot and his fellows smote down as well a further 40 knights, and then Then came the King of Ireland and the King of the Straight Marches, who rode to rescue Sir Tristram and Sir Palomides, who were hard pressed against the forces of Lancelot. And then there began a great medley, and many knights were smitten down on both parties, but always did Sir Lancelot spare Sir Tristram, that he had great love for. And Sir Palomides did not meddle with Sir Lancelot, and so there was hurtling here and there, and then King Arthur sent out many knights of the Table Round, and Sir Palomides was ever in the foremost front, and Sir Tristram did so strongly well that the king and all others had marvel of his skill. Then the king let blow to lodging, and by cause Sir Palomides began first. And never he went nor rode out of the field to repose, but ever he was doing marvellously well, either on foot or on horseback, and longest during. King Arthur and all the kings afterwards gave Sir Palomides the honour and the victory of that day. And then Sir Tristram commanded Sir Dinadan to fetch the beautiful Queen Isolde and bring her to the two pavilions that stood by the well. And so Sir Dinadan did as he was commanded. But when Sir Palomides understood and realised that Sir Tristram was in the red armour on the red horse, know you well that he was glad. And so was Sir Gareth and Sir Dinadan, for they all knew that Sir Tristram had been taken prisoner. And then every knight drew to his inn. And then King Arthur and every knight spoke of those knights. But above all, the men gave Sir Palomides the prize. And all knights that knew Sir Palomides had wonder of his great deeds. Sir, said Sir Lancelot unto Arthur, as for Sir Palomides, he be the Green Knight, and I dare say, as for this day, he is the best worthy to have the degree, for he reposed himself never, nor never changed his weeds, and he began first, and longest he held on. And yet know I well, said Sir Lancelot, that there was a better knight than he, and that shall be proved before we depart, upon pain of my life. And thus they talked on either party, and so Sir Dinadan rallied with Sir Tristram and said, What the devil is upon you this day? For Sir Palomides' strength has never weakened today. In fact, he doubled it. And there, ladies and gents, we shall pause tonight's tale. We will begin again tomorrow night as we see just what Sir Tristram can try to do to prove that he is a better knight than Palomides, for even though Tristram is in love with Isolde, and Isolde in love with Tristram, the very sight of Isolde has given Palomides the strength of 100 men, so that no man could stand against him. Well done, aren't they, friends? Well, they have a checkered history indeed. Palomides, when he first met Sir Tristram in the court of King Anguish of Ireland, fought with him for the love of Queen Isolde, was a Princess Isolde at the time. And at that time, Tristram defeated Palomides. And afterwards, Palomides hated him the next time they fought, and the next time they fought, and the next time they fought. 4 times did they fight, and 4 times has Tristram won the day. Only once did Palomides succeed in knocking Tristram from his horse, and that was in the middle of a great battle when Palomides came up to Sir Tristram and knocked him from behind. He has always sworn to defeat Tristram, apart from recently, ladies and gents, when Palomides saw the great strength of Tristram and was afraid, and so swore fealty to him. But, ladies and gents, but the question is this. Palomides was willing to swear fealty to Tristram when he thought that Tristram was stronger than him. Now that he is proving that he is a strong knight indeed, will his strength cause him to stay like this, or will he finally try once more, ladies and gents, to embarrass Tristram, to defeat him upon the battlefield, to prove himself a greater knight than Tristram, and to win the love of Isolde? That is the question we will answer this week, ladies and gents. This week, we will answer the question, who is the greater knight? Is it Tristram? Is it Isolde? Which one of them will win the battle for Isolde's love? Clearly, as you pointed out, there's some questions around whether Isolde will ever love a man who would go and slay a horse mercilessly in the middle of a friendly tournament. I, for one, would not be on Team Palomides after such a shameful display. But more curious things have been seen, ladies and gents, and so you will have to come back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock to find out just what happens as Palomides continues his campaign to win the love of Isolde. It feels good to be back, ladies and gents. It feels good to be back with working internet. Thank you so much for coming out to join me for tonight's tale. Thank you indeed. Thank you, Herbert. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, you wonderful, wonderful, kind people. Thank you, Lars. Thank you, Lars. I do feel like I'm on fire tonight. This was good. After last week's shenanigans, it feels nice to be back here, to be back on form. It's you guys making me back on form. If you weren't here to support me and to read the comments, and you might not have been able to distract me tonight, Lars, but I read the comments anyway. It's great to be back. Thank you for having me back. Thank you for coming out to support. Thank you for putting this smile on my face and giving me the energy to give you guys an awesome show. I'm going to say bye-bye very briefly now because Poetry Live is about to start. And on Poetry Live tonight, we are reading one of my favourite poets. It's been a while since I read him to you on this show. We are going to go and read some John Donne. I've thought about doing some festivals. Actually, I need to get in touch with some festivals. I want to do some festivals, Dawn. I need to... Thank you for reminding me. One of the things that I need to do this week is to get in touch with some festivals because I do want to go and read live. Well, not read live, just perform live. It is on my list of things to do. I would love to do it. I need to get in touch with some places. If anybody knows anyone who is running festivals and would like a storyteller, tell them to get in touch. If you know any folk running storytelling festivals. Oh, awesome, Dawn. Awesome. I would love to do Edinburgh Fringe. Although I might just have to go as a tourist because I hear... Oh, actually, no, I could find a producer. We'll see. If anyone knows any show producers for the Edinburgh Fringe who would like a storyteller, now that might be an interesting one. I never thought about doing the Fringe, but I'd love to do the Fringe. Thank you, Dawn. Let me sit back in the percolator. Let's see if I can find anybody who's willing to produce a show. I will see. Let's see what can be done. Anyway, Poetry Live coming up in a minute's time, ladies and gents. Tonight, I'm reading John Donne. It would be something incredible. Let's see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can send Simon to the Fringe. Not this Fringe, but the one up in Scotland. Excellent. I will see you guys in a few minutes' time. Thank you, and bye-bye.